How are you?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. No, I was just waiting for you so that we can actually start this conversation. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. How are you feeling?
No, it's okay.
How are you feeling?
Huh?
How are you feeling?
Actually, just 10 minutes ago, I did go live.
Yeah.
Just to invite people to your page. So
Okay.
So from my side, I can say I was low-key nervous because, I mean, when we're having this conversation, we're having a conversation about something that people normally don't want to say ish about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's true, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can I quickly...
Okay. Look at you, all fresh and clean. Some of us, yo.
I had to look at how it
Yeah.
no longer believe in this what's this online they do believe in online marketing, but also how you present yourself. I think it plays a very crucial role.
Yes, boys.
This soulmate might be buying data now to join the conversation, so they need to see me in sharp on
Yeah. Okay. Please introduce yourself to those who don't know you yet.
Yes. Okay. My name is Stefan Mahlatsi, and for some weird reasons, I happen to be the founder of Next Chapter. I call myself a mental health activist because I have developed love for having conversations around mental health.
Yes.
Of course, I'm not an expert. I always tell people that now sometimes when I speak, I will be speaking from a point of privilege, but the only source or rather what gives me the permission to speak is the fact that now I myself at some point I considered or I was classified as a mental health user because of my own mental health challenges. That led, of course, to the birth of Next, which is now a PDO.
Yeah. But are you loving what you're doing?
Yes. I don't know. Do you love what you're doing?
Okay, no, let's focus on our topic for today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You said, as we had the conversation earlier on, that now I was looking at the work that you do, your organization, Bongs and Dima Foundation, and that, as I mentioned earlier on, that now your foundation focuses on the psychological well-being of men in particular.
Yeah.
Because we have so many organizations, we have so many movements that speaks on mental health, but now I for some reasons, I do feel as if though psychological well-being of men is a forgotten footnote in this whole conversation.
Yeah.
So most of the time, as I did mention earlier on, when we speak of the psychological well-being of men, we are challenging one of the things that people never want to talk about out loud.
Yeah.
Note the following: one, people don't want to talk about mental health generally. And now, on top of that, you have men who don't want to talk about their mental health.
No,
and
true.
Also, when you might think, what could be the reason behind men not talking, so that you can just take us through based on the work that you have.
Well, I personally, I've been getting a lot of commotion. I think most men haven't come into terms with, having been told, let me just say, they haven't been told on how to process and talk freely about their emotional experiences, Usually this will lead to isolation, to anger, resentment, and slowly they tend to, shut down. I think most of it is actually linked to how most of us were raised, Patriarchy has played a huge role in how men actually conduct themselves, because most of them were told from a young age that a man doesn't cry, a man is supposed to be strong, you can't show any weaknesses, and while you add that, a man doesn't cry. Like, what kind of a man if you cry? So all those things have actually contributed on how men actually want to carry themselves. And they actually tend to perpetrate the whole thing when they're going out there to the public, and they think that they are the alpha and I don't owe anyone an apology, or I'm not supposed to. And truth is, we need to change the pattern. Hello. Are you still with me?
Go and different. Okay. You hear me?
Tabang.
I can hear you.
Yeah, your network is failing me. Okay, now you're back. Thank you.
Yes, I'm going to click actually. Let me just quickly go through three of the points that you've mentioned just in detail. The first one, we're going to be looking into the issue of men don't cry and boy doesn't cry. How that at the end of the day transmute their emotions into anger, into frustration when we grow up.
Resentment.
Yes. I want to make this point with, of course, most people can argue it differently, that now some of the issues that we're dealing with in our society now, that includes gender-based violence, that includes abuse of alcohol and drugs, that includes, amongst other things, suicide rate that is going up rapidly amongst men, is the fact that we forced to think in a particular way. So there's a theory that I want to discuss quickly. It is called the sex role theory. The sex role theory defines and explains some of the issues, or it creates an umbrella of some sort, where we look into the fact that now, as men, one thing that we need to look into before we discuss their psychological well-being is the fact that now they are conflicted with the challenge of issue of identity and also connecting with the society.
Yeah.
When we talk about identity, as the sex role theory, the danger of sex role theory says that now, as a man, you cannot cry, you need to provide for your family, you cannot be unemployed, you cannot be the weakest in the family. As a man, you have, when something tragic happens in your family, where your feelings will be discussed later.
And you need to focus and be in charge.
And be in charge. And that also creates the mentality, even us, the young ones who are growing, because now, when you see your father, let's say, for example, there's a funeral, and now you are the only one who's crying, you quickly get your ish together and be like, no, I'm not supposed to even be crying. And now this affects us in a way that now we tend to transmute into anger, as I mentioned earlier on. Now we speak our emotions by abusing alcohol. We want to not feel, because now one of the things that as men we are faced with is that I'd rather not feel. You make up the characters in your mind that now, no, I would like to deal with it. Or I don't have anyone to talk to. It's not that you don't have anyone to talk to, but you cannot afford to be weak amongst your peers, amongst your family. The second point that you mentioned, of which it is also important that I also look into, let's look at the issue of masculinity, not being defined from the sex role theory, because the dangers of sex role theory itself is that we want to separate men from, we want to have men and women, so that by so doing we say that now, because you are two different beings, you need to feel differently. So that alone is a danger. But issue of masculinity. We know that people want to be dominant, bro. The dangers of this whole conversation, I would love to believe that now it stems from the fact that now it wants to be dominant. Being it in the LGBTQ community, sometimes people will be on some that now, I'm a top guy, I'm a masculine top man, and also I cannot be showing my emotions to my partner because that will make me look like I'm weak, or also I'll not be respected later on in the bedroom and things like that. So it's one of the things that we also need to look into. And the other thing that adds into the issue of identity and masculinity and mental health of men is the fact that now most men, I would say, they are struggling with identity in a sense that now people don't know how to define themselves outside what they've been told to be. Like from the point that you mentioned earlier on, of which you mentioned, we were raised in a particular way, and also how patriarchy enforces such things.
Yes. So going back to the other point that you just raised now about the LGBTQI family, right? I think another thing is that we're failing to transform, right, from the normal heterosexual lifestyle to the LGBTI lifestyle. Because, again, I think the same people, we still want to perpetrate the whole thing of the patriarchy, right? Because I'm a man, that means I need to act a certain way. And obviously, society, I think it actually boils down to societal issue. Society are not allowing most homosexual people or gay people to be fully themselves, right?
Can I challenge you?
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're not part of the society. When I ask this question, I want you to quickly take me back to, as a member of the society who is observing some of
Yes.
the things that are happening in
Yeah.
the society, how all these things affect the psychological well-being of men who are within the society and who are also identifying within a certain group.
Well, I'm society. Everyone is society, right? So I think it's another reason why I actually took a step in towards this direction of trying to rectify certain things, because I just feel like most men are being misunderstood, right? And they are not being given a fair chance of actually expressing themselves and fully living up to their full potential. Because now, like I said, how you are raised and how you're supposed to operate in a real world are complete different things. You know what I'm saying? And again, we find other people that are actually integrated into different kind of relationships, whether it be men to men or women to men or any other form. All these things we cannot continue with the same way on how our forefathers were raised and our fathers were raised, because things have changed now. And then you mention other people are finding it hard with this whole I'm top, I'm bottom, I'm something like that, and all those things is something that we need to start teaching the young ones and start pulling out the labels, you know.
How does that affect the mental well-being generally of everyone?
Well, I believe that, okay, let's just say in case of someone being a feeling that they're being suppressed or they are being undermined or they are a minority, right? Obviously, they're not going to be fully developed into who they want to be, whether it be in a relationship or society. And them, they probably feel like they don't have a voice or their voice count little. Obviously, that will play a certain role or trick in your mind in thinking that you are not fully acceptable in actually adding any value in society for that matter.
Now, just to add on what you just said, thank you for mentioning the issue of how the finances also becomes the issue. Like I said also earlier on, that now masculinity also says that now I need to be financially stable to provide for my family.
Yeah.
If you're engaging now homes, there's a father woman who was on some, I really need this whole corona thing needs to end, this whole lockdown needs to end, because now I cannot be at home and we see that now I'm not being paid. Some people, unfortunately, they are they're not being paid for not coming back during this lockdown. And there's that one man who's saying that now this is going to make me feel like I'm not man enough because my wife still getting, she's still getting her allowance or her pay. And also looking into the issue of saying that now, how does this also the issue of finance, the issue of lockdown, and come reflect back into our households, in our societies, where men are saying that now I don't even have alcohol to deal with whatever that I'm going through, and now this later develops into them being frustrated and angry. That's why now the latest statistic that was when I watched the news, that now they're saying that now there's a rising number of abuses, domestic violence abuses that are taking place. I also want to make mention that now these cases also are influenced by the fact that now people are forced now to face their emotions. People are forced now to engage with their wives and their kids, and they never learned the skill of saying that now I'm not feeling okay. What they would rather do, the person would rather take a walk, go meet their friends, be drunk, come back later drunk. If a person or a guy would rather say that now, I only come back home around o'clock. I don't actually have the time to engage with everyone. I need them for 5-10 minutes, then everyone is going to sleep. So I want to make mention also of the fact that now when we look into one of the major contributing chains in the psychological well-being of men is the fact that now some of them are forced to suicide because they are not. I don't know the issue of the concept of not respected.
Whoa. Before I forget, I need to catch you because you are like on the roller coaster here. We're gonna go back to the We're gonna go back to the first point where you're saying most men or husbands are actually now they feel like they are being trapped, and the whole issue of being locked down, it's actually playing like psychological issues with them because maybe they can't provide for the family, right? I say again, we need to move away from what we were taught, right?
Okay.
Yes, patriarchy said a man is supposed to be a provider, right? A man is supposed to be independent. A man is supposed to be a pillar of that household. But I think right now, men need to learn to be expressive. There's actually power in being vulnerable, okay? There's power in being vulnerable in terms of, I mean, you are allowed to have fears of not being able to provide for your family. That is reality, right? We are actually locked down, and this is beyond anybody's doing. Even if you want to go out there and hustle, there is no way for you to hustle because all the stuff are on standstill. So then who to blame then? The only solution right now is just people need to be expressive instead of bottling emotions inside and wanting to be in charge and in control. You just need to be vulnerable for once. You sit down your wife, your girlfriend, or your spouse, your whoever, your partner, you tell them about your fears, your